So many people could learn a ton from Laura Stacey's journey.
It definitely wasn't a linear, easy path.
It was a long road for her with a lot of ups and downs.
When you're a young kid, you just think it's like, okay, I'm gonna make the U18 team, I'm gonna make the development team, and then I'm gonna make the senior team.
She, at certain points, could have made the team, but then they chose other people over her.
I was probably that person that, in her mind, was blocking her from what her potential was.
Those moments were tough to swallow because that wasn't the goal. That wasn't that little dream that I had when I was so young.
She held herself accountable and went through a process herself to get to a place where she is today.
Shot, and she scores!
You can stand tall and shine, or you can disappear and hide. And I think she's just someone that's chosen to stand tall.
She's definitely a lighthouse for our team.
Laura Stacey's journey to the top of her sport didn't begin with a high level of enthusiasm.
My parents put me in a learn to skate program because my sister was figure skating.
She did a lot of sitting in the middle of the arena, kind of crying and staring at all the other people coming in the rink with their big hockey bags.
I saw all the boys go to the rink across the way playing hockey, and I was like, why am I not there?
She was the one throwing a temper tantrum, and I tried to pretend that she wasn't my little sister.
She was not happy, so we were gonna fight her.
Somehow I convinced them to let me go over there. I definitely couldn't really keep up because I couldn't skate, but I loved it. I wanted to be out there, I wanted to keep playing, I wanted to keep practicing.
She was probably one of the worst players to start the year, but by the end of the year, she was probably the top 3 or 4.
But playing with the boys couldn't last forever. Size soon became a factor, and Laura learned that playing with girls could lead to something special.
I have this vivid memory of sitting on my couch with my whole family and watching the Salt Lake City Olympics and Cassie Campbell standing on the blue line, winning a gold medal, singing the Canadian national anthem. So that was kind of my only first dose of, wow, there's something more out there.
When she did transition to women's hockey, she was fiery and very noticeable.
I was able to play on the under-18 team for 2 years, and it was amazing. I didn't realize that this could maybe open up doors for college. It could maybe open up doors to that Olympic dream that I saw on TV and that spark that I had when I was such a young kid.
Laura committed to Dartmouth College, where she contributed to the Big Green right away.
Stacey brings it back up ice for the Big Green. She takes a shot and scores!
In her final year, she was named captain. This success, however, didn't lead to her making the senior national team. She found herself out of the mix 4 years in a row.
I had been on that stuck at that level of going to the development team every year, going to the national team camps, and then receiving a no where I wasn't good enough. I hadn't quite made that next step. I would lay in bed and be like, what do I need to do? How do I need to do this? Is this it for me?
Adding injury to insult, Laura suffered a devastating one during the final game of her senior year.
I think breaking both my wrists my final college game was a huge moment in my career.
The sound that came out of her, there's really no words to explain.
She was casted up to her shoulder on one and over past her elbow on the other.
Can't, put your clothes on. You cannot eat. It was exam time.
A lot of times she was told, not sure you'll be able to play again, or if you will, probably not at the same level. And honestly, that didn't even faze her.
She showed up every day like she was 100% healthy, and she worked, and she not once did she make an excuse or look for something to make things easier. And she just said, I'm going to control what I can control, and I'm going to just go will myself into this spot so that when these casts come off, I give myself the best possible opportunity to push my way onto that team.
11 months later, I made it for the first time. So I think sometimes it takes that little step back, that little bump in the road to make you realize how bad you want something.
That's why you coach, right? Like those phone calls and those FaceTimes, seeing how excited she was and the joy, it was just awesome.
Laura cracked the roster just in time for the 2018 Olympic Games. She came home with a silver medal and continued uncertainty when it came to her place in the team.
When she initially made the team, she was kind of slotted in as someone that doesn't get to play a regular shift or doesn't get too much ice time.
2019 Worlds, I played one game in the World Championships. The rest I was sitting in the stands, and honestly, it was probably one of the toughest moments of my career. That's when Dan started opening my eyes to this idea of being a lighthouse.
Dan Noble is somebody that's very special to her. He's her trainer from back home, and I remember it was quite hard and getting emotional about it, but she had a lot of phone calls, and Dan was somebody that really took her and just told her to be a lighthouse.
The lighthouse idea is no matter what, in the biggest of storms, in the darkest of days, there's one thing that's always shining.
It's just her being a guiding light and being someone that can feel like home and feel like a support system for everybody around her.
That saying got me through it in terms of I'm still on this team, I'm still representing my country. How can I have an impact and show up to the rink and lift my teammates up and be a lighthouse for every single one of them?
Whether she's playing a lot, whether she's not, she's always consistently there.
She's someone that can always make us feel connected.
She continued to lean into this role into the 2021 World Championship.
I can specifically remember a sit-down conversation I had with Laura at the hotel in Calgary where we were staying for that World Championship. And, at that point, our coaching staff felt that we'd put our best lineup forward, and at that point, Laura was not in that lineup.
Troy's been the national team coach for a while now, and I've had some really, really hard conversations with him.
I give her a lot of credit for actually just taking the time to meet with me, to share some of her thoughts. And I don't think, me as a coach, her as an athlete, if we ever get to the point where we are today, right now in our coach-athlete relationship, if Laura doesn't take the time to have those tough conversations.
I think she turned that situation into such a great one, into knowing her role and where she fits on the team.
She really took me under her wing as a rookie, and I was really, really lucky to have her. She was always a listening ear. She was always willing to joke around with me, willing to lighten the mood whenever she could.
Every single day, I'm going to do whatever it takes to have an impact and to be a lighthouse on the team that chooses me and on the team that wants me to be a part of it.
Laura was a part of the 2022 Olympic gold medal team, and this is her 7th World Championship. As an assistant captain with the Montreal Victoire, she's among the league's top players.
One-timer, they score. Wow, what a game for Laura Stacey.
Despite all her success, Laura never forgets the journey it took to get here.
There is no guarantees in life, and I feel like my whole career I've felt that way. And I think that's also what makes me better or makes me keep pushing, because you never know.